I want to show you how to go from end to end in the Jellypod creation flow as quickly as possible. So first thing, homepage in the top right corner, sign up. I've already signed up. There's like a confirmation email that you'll have to click, but here is the empty page that you'll see yourself. There are no podcasts yet created. We have one host created as the default host. So the first step is to create a host. I'm going to create a clone of myself. Next, I'm going to go ahead and make a voice clone. You can read this aloud. I already did, and I have a sample to upload. Click confirm that I have the rights to the voice. Click create. Let's have a listen.
Hi there.
Hi there. Sounds just like me. All right, I've got one host. Let's go ahead and create a co-host. Great. Let's choose voice design. So to give you a quick sense, there's a voice clone we just did. There's professional voices where you can choose from a library, and there's voice design. This pulls in the backstory and creates a few options for voices for this AI host. Awesome, let's give it a listen.
Welcome to my world of whimsy and wonder.
Select and click create host. Awesome, so now I've got two co-hosts. Next step is to go to podcasts. You can get to podcasts on the left or via dashboard, and then you click create new podcast. This will be Jellypod, the AI podcast studio, a podcast about news and functionality from Jellypod, the AI. Great. Now I pick the host that is created, my clone and my co-host. They'll appear here. And you can choose the language. I'll do English. The cover art will get automatically generated for you, but you can add one if you'd like. You can configure the perfect subdomain. And on paid plans, you can remove Jellypod branding. And if you have a domain, you can also add your own domain. There's also some advanced settings. This is to add an author, to add your website, your contact information. I won't do that today, but know that this is available to you. I'm going to make it unlisted. Actually, I'll make it public so that it grows. Create podcast. Great. So here's my podcast. I still don't have a single episode, so I'm going to make my first episode. Click create new. I have two options. I can upload an episode if I've already got one recorded. People are making cool hybrid, half AI, half manual episodes. But I'm going to create one from scratch. This is the core Jellypod flow after all. So I can upload a file. I can use web search. I can start with just some text ideas, or I can add a URL. I'm going to go ahead and add a URL since we recently announced Jellypod 2.0. To find out what Jellypod 2.0 is, stick around for the episode. All right, so here's the outline that you get. So this is the first way that you can really impact the episode's structure and duration. Every chapter equals 3 to 4 minutes long. So by adding chapters, deleting chapters, you can control the length of the episode. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this chapter and this chapter, but I do want to include some of the bullets in case it makes sense inside of the first chapter. So as you can see here, I'm going to change this to Jellypod 2.0. This is all obviously editable. And the next big step is to click generate script. So what you've noticed is there's two big spots for customization so far. There's the host personalities or backstories. This is critical to determining how they'll speak. And the second big step is this outline creation. The last big step for customization in Jellypod is the transcript editor. You'll be able to edit any word before the audio gets generated and also after if you'd like. So here we have the podcast episode between myself and my co-host. I could add intro music or outro music in a second if I wanted to. I could add a pronunciation guide for certain words, names, etc. But I'm just going to go ahead and jump straight to the audio. All right, awesome. So you'll notice that you'll get both audio and a video. Here you can preview the video, play it. Let's give it a listen.
So, Jellypod 2.0 is here, and honestly, where do we even start with this? It's like they've just decided to rewrite all the podcasting rules. I mean, customizable everything, AI doing half the heavy lifting. It kind of feels like magic, doesn't it?
It really does. When we set out to create Jellypod, the idea was to simplify podcasting. But with 2.0, it's not just about simplicity anymore. It's about unlocking creativity, giving creators tools like mobile episode creation, AI-powered cover art, and my favorite real-time integration with web search.
All right. Well, that was awesome. So the next big step is to render and publish. So once this is done, the episode is finalized and you can download the MP3 or the MP4. So make sure to read through or listen through before doing this. Well, there you have it. There's the podcast. If you'd like to give this a listen, go to jellypod-podcast.jellypod.ai. It's a custom website generated. Every podcast gets one of these. You can see here, you can click into it, you can watch the audiogram, listen to it, read the transcript, whatever you'd like. And I'd love to highlight a couple more options for you in terms of distribution. You have an embeddable player that you can copy and paste this into your site and then be able to embed this podcast on your site if you have your own website. And then also you have options around Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and anywhere that integrates with an RSS feed. So there are so many places that you can go to. And what's awesome is once you've integrated these things, the moment you hit publish, your episodes are sent and delivered to those podcast platforms. Happy podcasting.